The Protoss are preparing shuttles for launch.
A warp conduit. I sense millions of Protoss minds on the other side. Shakuras! If a single shuttle passes through, they can alert Shakuras to our presence.
Should we destroy it then?
No, they would detect that. Our only choice is to stop their shuttles from reaching the conduit. Nefash's Hydralisks. Abathur, assimilate their essence into the swarm.
Hydralisk reconstituted can morph from lava.
I need more Hydralisks to destroy these shuttles.
Hello and welcome back to StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm. This video is way too loud. Let me just turn it down so I can commentate. There we go. The volume has been controlled. So this is the next mission. And essentially what's going on here is the Protoss are annoyed with us and they're going to tell on us. We don't want them to tell on us because Protoss air is overpowered and we don't want to have to deal with that. So I've conveniently learned how to make Hydralisks just in time. So my technique for this mission is going to be make absolutely loads of Hydralisks. Now, is it me or is there no music playing? That's weird.
The Protoss have launched a shuttle. It is en route to a warp conduit.
Not if I have anything to say about it. We will bring down that shuttle. Yes.
Hopefully music will start playing at some point, because I've got the horrible feeling that I somehow forgot to turn music on and didn't notice while recording this, which is really weird. Anyway, okay, so the whole point of this mission is a sort of defense-y mission. You've got to stop ships from getting to that big glowy spinny thing. There are many big glowy spinny things, and in the end there'll be many ships, so we have to sort of ramp up our army as we go so that we can match the ships. There are also things we need to do for the side objective. I forget exactly what it is, but we've got to do it. And in addition to that, well, that's it. We've got to do things, but also there are more expansions. There are more bases that I need to take. Now, spoiler alert, I don't take them for a very long time. Not for any tactical reason, just because I'm a fool and it took me a long time to find them because I wasn't looking properly. But they are there, and they are advisable. So there you go, that was the first one. That was just a practice one, very easy. I'm very concerned now with the fact that there is no music, so I apologise for that. I will get the music back as soon as I can. Which is in a few videos' time, because I've already recorded some videos. Oops. Oh, wait.
Mengsk will suffer.
No, that's not music, that's the glowy thing. Ah, I'm going to obsess about this, obviously. It's what I do. So yeah, essentially this mission's going to start the same as any other. I'm going to grow my creep, get my unending wall of spine crawlers going.
Engage the hive directly. Our shuttles must break through.
You will never leave this ball of ice.
And then once I'm done with that, just grow my army, kick ass.
The Protoss were gathering biological samples and storing them in these stasis chambers.
There you go, that's my
Destroy
mission.
the chambers and take the biomass if we can.
So I've got to destroy some chambers. There. Ooh! Is that music? That might be music. It could just be that it took ages. That is so music. Okay, awesome. There is music. It just took ages to kick in for some reason. That's cool. I'm happy with that. So,
the Protoss launched another shuttle. This one is accompanied by a fighter escort.
well, that's no good.
Stop us all, Kerrigan.
So yeah, of all the missions in the game, this is like the one mission where there's a lot of air, which is, you know, why it's so handy that we get to make lots of Hydralisks. This is the only mission in the game where you're going to need a lot of anti-air, i.e. Hydralisks. I suppose I could have made Mutalisks as well, but for some reason I chose to make Hydralisks. Just 'cause I love Hydralisks. Anyway, so yeah. This is the only mission where you're going to need anything except Kerrigan to kill air. Other missions, even like the very last mission where the enemy's throwing everything at you, you can just take down air with Kerrigan, it's fine.
Large quantities of biomass. Good to have. Can use to improve swarm.
Good old biomass, whatever it is. Are we like collecting globs of meat, or is it more involved than that? I don't know. point is, more ships are coming, and now, ooh, 3 scouts, that's pretty deadly. No, it isn't, but of course it will get deadly. We have 7 waves remaining. And that's not just 7 ships, that's 7 waves. Later waves will have more than 1 ship trying to get through the squiggly thing, and we're going to have to stop them before they do that. There we go, my good old trusty banelings, off you go! Banelings are just great.
The Protoss are mobilizing an assault on our hive cluster.
Ah, we're under attack, and let me guess. Oh no, my Hydralisk is being caught out of position. Run, Hydralisk, run! You can do it, friend.
I am in a swarm.
There he goes, is he gonna survive? Oh, he just barely survived. Excellent. Good thing I got that spine wall up early, like the dapper fool that I am. So, yeah, as you can see, I'm being hyper-aggressive, both to make it interesting for you, the viewer, and because I feel like I can with Kerrigan. Of course, the problem with Hydralisks is that they're not quite as durable as roaches. Remember last mission? My roaches just sort of lasted forever, no matter what they went into. Hydralisks aren't like that. They can do a lot more damage than roaches, but they can take a lot less damage than roaches. So I have in fact just lost all of my Hydralisks. I was considering restarting, because losing all of your Hydralisks is generally not good, especially when Hydralisks are a lot more expensive than roaches are, for example. But I decided I'd just stick with it and see if I could still get it done anyway, because I'm going to be honest with you. As you probably remember from my Wings of Liberty playthrough, I am a bit of a save scummer. I am one of those people where, should the game allow me to do so, the second anything goes wrong, I will revert to an earlier save. And, you know, that sort of breaks flow. It's not necessarily the best thing, and in a way, it's sort of, what have I really achieved if all I'm doing is hitting a reset button whenever I make a mistake, you know? So, for this whole Heart of the Swarm thing, I was making a conscious effort to just sort of roll with the punches and make it a more fluid experience, where I could truly see whether I can win or lose a mission based on my performance during that mission, you know? And spoiler alert, obviously I do win. It's a bit tight in some places, but that's more interesting, you know? Would you like to see me just barely win a mission, or would you like to see me just force you through loads of loading screens as I reload every time something goes wrong, and then I just absolutely demolish the enemy, you know? I have come to realise that I will not get that ship in time with my current strategy, so here we go. Luckily, the times, even on Brutal, are pretty, generous.
Make your peace.
Half a minute, even when they've gotten close to it. Another half a minute. Oops! You'll see I was attempting to revive that Hydralisk, but instead I exploded it. That is just the sort of quality gameplay you can expect from me. There you go, that pylon got what was coming to it. Am I... Ooh! Could be waiting for another round of banelings here. Am I clever enough to do that? Can I do it? Yes. Oh no! Oh, I lost all my banes. That's no good. Still, at least that storm was wasted on 3 units and not my hyper-expensive Hydralisks that are now dying to a storm. Oh well.
Slay them all.
It's okay though, 3 Hydralisks, I'd say that's a good army. It's getting the job done. Now as you can see, Vespene gas is going to be a huge limiting factor in my ability to make Hydralisks, and the reason that is because I still only have the 1 base. There is a second base, sort of, you see the south of the map there, that bottom bit that I haven't filled in? It's there. Had I just gone and explored there, I could have had 2 bases, I could have had twice as much Vespene gas, and thereby twice as many Hydralisks, but it takes me ages. And if you'll see there, next to where the green moving ship is currently now, you can see a bit of blue and a semicircle of minerals. There is another 3rd base there I could take. Unfortunately, while I have played Heart of the Swarm before, I played it ages ago, so most of this I don't have very well memorized, so I didn't know the base locations. It took me ages to find them. That was unfortunate, but I'm not going to save scum. I'm just going to deal with it. Just deal with mostly 1 basing this mission when I really should be 2 or 3 basing it. Which again just kind of goes to show that brutal difficulty is not brutal enough, because
Warning. Another shuttle has reached a warp conduit.
if it was truly brutal, I would be punished for this mistake. Now see, what my new strategy is now is to just pump absolutely loads of lava so that the excess minerals I have, I can just pump into sort of loads of zerglings, and then those zerglings can sort of act as a meat shield for my more valuable hydralisks. That's what I was thinking. Because I did know that there were expansions to be found, but as I couldn't currently find them, I thought it would be quicker and easier just to adapt this strategy than it would be to go on a potentially fruitless search for another base. You know? Makes sense? Good. Scouts are pathetic. I don't know why Protoss are still using that outdated, terrible technology. I don't know if Scouts were that pathetic in StarCraft 1, I'm not sure. I have played through the campaign of StarCraft 1 and Brood War, but you know, you don't really get a feel for things in the campaign. So were Scouts that weak? Because if so, Protoss Air must have just been a bad time. Terran Wraiths seem very weak as well. And as for the Zerg thing, the Zerg fly that's no longer in StarCraft 2, the Scourge, well, they seem supremely overpowered because we did a mission earlier where they took down loads of super powerful battle cruisers. So there you go, Zerg OP, it's confirmed. Now I've found a Nexus, which means that there are in fact 4 bases to be found in this map, so that's interesting.
Protoss are launching 2 sets of shuttles.
So there's one in that blacked out area in the south that I haven't looked at yet. There's one over there that admittedly is probably a bit too close to the Protoss bases to really take. And then there's one here, so there's 4 or 3, depending on if that one I pointed out is even holdable. It probably is, because the Protoss are never particularly... No AI enemy is really aggressive
Enemy's base.
in single-player missions. Which is a shame. I think that would add a nail-biting element to single-player if the enemy actually... You know, other than the occasional attack of like 1 or 2 things that are killed by my spine crawlers, I want to see some proper enemy aggression. Legacy of the Swarm is coming. It has been announced today. I mean, it's weird to me to sort of announce a game that we all sort of know was coming eventually because they said it was coming in 2010, but they've now shown us a bit of footage that shows it exists, and that's what announcing is these days. So,
A shuttle is beginning to warp. It must be destroyed.
speaking of, it looks pretty grisly. It looks like it's kind of like Mass Effect 3 and the Grizzle factor. You know, this Amon. You haven't met him yet. Spoilers. In Heart of the Swarm, later on in the missions, following the story, we're going to find, or at least hear about, an ancient Xel'Naga called Amon, who is a bit evil. Looks like in Legacy of the Storm, Legacy of the Void, I can't stop saying of the Storm lately, but Legacy of the Void looks like he's going to get up to some deadly shenanigans, so that's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, you know, oh, a nice drone attack, get the job done. Are they? That's interesting.
That's the last stasis chamber.
And as you can see,
Examine biomass. Consume. Improve swarm.
that massive mineral surplus that I had is just completely gone. Zerglings can be surprisingly expensive when you make loads of them and also make loads of spine crawls at the same time. You know, you think a bank of a few thousand minerals is a lot, but it really isn't. As you'll quickly learn in multiplayer. Though in multiplayer, if you ever have a bank of thousands or so of minerals, it means you're bad. Take it from me,
The
someone who
Protoss
is
have
bad.
launched more shuttles.
One shuttle through the conduit, and you will feel the might of the Golden Armada.
Me.
This world.
The fun thing is, when Heart of the Swarm first came out, Protoss Air really was very overpowered, so you saw a lot of people actually referring to Protoss Air in multiplayer as the Golden Armada, and I thought that was just a fun, cute little thing. So, yep, I secured that second base just in time for my first base to run out, so I'm still sort of one-basing this. Imagine how different this game would be looking had I taken that base very early. Or better yet, taken the one in the south that I mentioned that is in fact very, very, very close to my current initial base and very, very easy to hold. Oh, what a different game this would be had I done that. Throughout all of this, I've still only actually managed to
Slay them all.
retain like a handful of Hydralisks. So, I don't know, I feel like I've made Hydralisks look weaker than they are. You know, last mission, you saw my Roaches just go in force. This mission, you're seeing my Hydralisks never getting beyond a handful, just barely struggling to survive. But trust me, Hydralisks are good, it's just that I mismanaged this entire thing. It was just bad play by me. But luckily, Zerglings. It's always fun to see Zerglings rip some things to shreds. Have I got drones with me? Looks like it. Oh well.
What is
Yes, I
it
do.
this
I've got
time?
drones with me. That's odd. I'm sure I had a reason for that at some point.
This world is mine.
But maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm just odd. Am I about to discover the base that I should have discovered about a minute into this game? Here we go.
No time like the present.
Look, there's even a Zerg hive there, ready to go. This was designed to just be a base that is handed to you. And it took me 21.5 minutes to get it. Fantastic. And now, this is the point that I've noticed that, oh, all those minerals I had are gone now. That's kind of annoying. And this is where I pretend that I was a genius all along by bringing drones in my army so that they could quickly inhabit this base. There you go. See? I planned it all.
Retribution will be mine.
So there you go. My good old army ready to go. There's an overlord with it because, I don't know, they provide vision. They don't. Well, they do, but not in the context of this
What is it this
particular
time?
mission.
Slay them all. No
Colossus just did not do the damage it needed to do. So as you can see, even though I've lost so many Hydralisks, my army is nowhere near as big as it should be. These air escorts are just not a big threat. I mean, sure, there's one on the way here, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to get there in time. There you go. Spine crawlers are enough
Destroy it
to take out Colossus, even though Colossus should be able to outrange spine crawlers. You know, just makes sense. Now I only have 15 seconds to get that from full to dead. Can I do it? Of course I can, because there are spore crawlers in front of this one.
Our conquest continues.
And that wasn't even me being clever, those are just given to you, so huzzah. So I now finally just about have 2 bases. I should be making another Vespene Geyser, there I go. Though my spine crawler wall is looking like it could do with a bit of love. But yeah, finally, 24 minutes into this mission, my economy is on track. I am really jonesing for that Carapace upgrade, but I don't think I'll be able to get it.
They're bearing toward the same conduit.
The Protoss have launched a mothership.
They must be using it to cloak shuttles.
So there you go.
All forces, defend the central conduit. Tear their ships from the sky.
Second to last wave. It's gonna be a toughie. My Zerglings just jumping in, doing the damage. Ship 1 down, easy peasy. There's nothing quite so satisfying as killing a mothership, because you know how expensive it is. I'll tell you what, right? People, listen to me. The most satisfying thing to kill in this entire game is a Terran siege tank. I don't know why, I just really get a satisfied feeling when I kill them, particularly if I manage to pick them off with Mutalisks. There's just something about that that feels delicious.
Destroy it now.
Like killing Ultralisks, they're big and expensive, but there's just not that same feeling as the simple and humble siege tank. I suppose it's because, you know, siege tanks can do so much damage and can really screw you up, but being able to kill some just feels like a lovely bit of revenge. Oh no, that wasn't the second
That's
to
the
last.
The warp conduits are useless to them.
That was the
now.
last.
You've done it, my queen. The Protoss threat is removed.
nothing is done. Until they are all dead.
Oh dear. She's slipping back into her vicious ways. God bless our Kerrigan. But this is where you and I say goodbye until the next video. I hope you've had a fantastic time watching this fantastic campaign of this fantastic game. So, as soon as this loading screen is done, I'm going to say my goodbyes. My goodbyes.
My queen, I have been contacted by Kalisa, a brood mother. She has heard of your accomplishments and wishes to return her brood to the swarm. Her brood is small in number, but it has strong leviathans.
Kalisa, hear me. The planet Mistaf 4 is a hub of Dominion military production. Take your brood there and destroy it. Do that, and you will earn your place within the swarm.
It shall be as you say, my queen.
You do not have to do this. You could leave. Be away from this moon before the Golden Armada arrives.
The swarm does not run. Weakness ends in death. All I can do is fight.
Then there will never be peace.
Peace?
It is a good sign that some of your brood mothers are returning to the fold.
I wonder why they are willing to give up their independence.
Perhaps not all of them wish to rule the swarm.
And perhaps they know there is safety in numbers. There is no other creature like you in the swarm. Where did your essence come from?
The Overmind spun me from many species, a brood of one.
What did you do after the Overmind died?
Wandered the tunnels of Char, without purpose. Pharaoh, Queen of Blades, found me, made me Zerg again.
You aren't Zerg unless you're under someone's control.
Without overriding will, am beast. Less